Hi there, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Lee Sharon, and this is the kitchen here at Old Tavern Farm. It is the end of September. I can't believe that October is right on our doorstep. It is really turning off to be fall here. The trees are turning. We're going to have a little bit of an Indian summer this week coming up, but we are well and truly in our fall time of year here in Zone 5B. My sister-in-law also lives in growing Zone 5B, and she last week sent me these beautiful rose hips. These are the rose hips from the Rosa rugosa plant. All roses grow a hip. It's actually like a fruit from the flower. It grows to the base of the flower. And then once the flower falls off, this fruit develops. And depending on the type of rose, they're very small, all the way up to these enormous, beautiful fruits. Rose hips actually have 5 to 6 times the amount of vitamin C that your average orange has. So these are super rich in antioxidants, super rich in vitamin C. These contain the seed to the rose itself. So as I split this one open here, you can see those are all seeds in there. So I can take this little rose hip and dry it and keep it over for next year and go ahead and start a new batch of rugosa roses for our homestead, which we used to have, we don't have anymore. So anyway, I will be cultivating those for the future, but today I want to make rose hip syrup to go along with some of my medicinal herb remedies that I have. As you guys know, I'm crazy about all that. So these are wonderful for that. And so I'm gonna make rose hip syrup to put downstairs in my root cellar to keep for the winter. And I'm gonna start, I have about a pound of these rose hips, and I really have to get them made because they are starting to really get ripe. I'm gonna take off the stem and then the blossom end. I'm gonna remove those, and I'm gonna steep them like a tea in water on the stove. And I'll take you over to the stove in just a minute and show you what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna cut into them because, as you saw with the inside where the seeds are, there's some little hairs in there that oops, that I don't really, they can be kind of irritating to the digestive tract, and so I want to keep them whole. So I'm going to steep them whole, but I am going to remove the blossom and stem, and I'm going to steep them in 6 cups of water, and I'm going to reduce it by half. So I'll have about a cup and a half of water left, and then I'm going to add some honey to it. So come over to the stove with me and let's get going. Okay. So over here at my stove, I have my pound of topped and tailed rose hips and 6 cups of water. So I am going to boil this down until the water is reduced by half. My rose hips have boiled down to half the amount of water. And I'm going to let them just sit in the water for a little while and cool down, and then we're going to strain them and we'll go from there. Okay, so I have put a bowl out here and a sieve with a cloth lining it. Okay, so this will catch any little pieces or stray hairs that might have got through, and then we can squeeze the fruit through here. So we're just gonna gather up the ends here, and we're gonna just squeeze it. It's still a little bit hot, but we want to get all of that stuff out of there. Got like it's kind of dark and gloomy today, so the lights are on. Ooh, a little bit hot, but that's okay. I'm gonna get all that stuff out of there. So squeeze all this into there's our liquid. We'll look at that in a minute. Okay. Okay, so there's our liquid, our tea. Basically, this is just a tea that we've made. Then into the tea, I am going to put, this is our honey that we lost our bees last year, but we still have some honey left from that last harvest. So I'm gonna put about a cup in here. So I'm just eyeballing it. That's probably 10 or 12 ounces. Okay. And then I'm gonna stir it up. Now I always keep vodka on hand. You guys know that. So in order to make sure that this this concoction here doesn't want to do any kind of mold or mildew, we're gonna make sure, I'm gonna pour about a large soup spoon of vodka in there, just to keep anything from forming. And so then I'm just gonna, it's all dissolved now. I've got this really nice bottle that I saved from a favorite whiskey that I used to drink years ago. Well, just a couple of years ago. So anyway, I've washed that out and I'm gonna put a funnel in that. Okay. So now we have a good supply of a syrup preparation that is loaded with vitamin C, and it's also said to be anti-inflammatory, antibacterial. I have done some research on rose hips, and this is my first experiment with rose hips, so I am still gathering information. But I do know that this is a wonderful thing to take when you're getting a cold or a cough or a flu. You're starting to feel a little bit bad. Now I'm going to have to Scrooge this a little bit because I've only got that much, but I'm hoping next year to double down on this, and we will make notes. So I'm going to go downstairs and store this wonderful bottle of medicine down in my root cellar, so it's waiting for me when I need it. And as always, I do want to thank you so much for coming to visit me here at Old Tavern Farm. Until next time, bye-bye. It is a special time of year. It is fall. It is, I think, almost the last, oh my God, ice maker. One of those things that I swear, get your mind together. Cut that. Maybe I could just find that out. Maybe I could just find that out. And until then, I want to thank you again. I just said that. Seller, so it's as always. What did I just say? I need it. And until